But first, Joe Arpaio gets his day in court. The 85-year-old former sheriff set to go on trial Monday on criminal contempt charges. His attorneys are making last-minute moves to try to stop the trial. Joining us this morning, Roy Herrera, an attorney at Lewis, Rocha, Rothgerber Christie and a former federal prosecutor, and Thomas Ryan, a Chandler attorney with extensive trial experience. He's been following the case very closely. Tom, I'll start with you. Big picture on this trial. Some viewers may have forgotten. Why is Joe Arpaio in court Monday?
Judge Murray Snow, a federal judge, issued an injunction prohibiting Sheriff Arpaio from enforcing federal immigration law. He did so because he felt Arpaio had been doing it with a racially based reason. Arpaio violated that order. He did so in a very public way. It is
alleged.
It is alleged.
He's accused of violating the order.
Right. And there was a hearing that lasted almost a year. Joe Arpaio is pleaded responsible to civil contempt, but now there's the criminal contempt because did he willfully violate a clear federal order?
Intentionally violate the order.
That's the standard.
Thing. Okay,
yes.
So his attorneys, he has a new team of attorneys, by the way, since we last saw him in court. His attorneys are trying to stop the trial, which starts tomorrow. Why, and can they do it?
Well, they obviously have been filing a flurry of last-minute motions and other kinds of filings. And I think one of the main motivations is to delay the trial. I think another motivation is to politicize the trial as much as they can. The problem for Joe Arpaio is that the evidence is pretty overwhelming, and most of it is based on his own admissions, which are going to be presented during the trial. So I think at this point they're just trying to delay as much as they can, but ultimately they're not going to be successful.
Okay, so as we sit here right now, we don't know what the judge is going to do, whether Judge Susan Bolton will delay the trial. Will she or won't she?
I have a hard time imagining that she would do that. The writ of mandamus that's been requested at the Supreme Court, that's going to go nowhere. And so I think she's just going to deny that and have the trial go forward on Monday.
Okay, his new team of attorneys are also trying to drag Attorney General Jeff Sessions into the courtroom to testify on Arpaio's behalf. What's that about, and will that work?
No, they want to bring Jeff Sessions in because they know he's supportive of Arpaio's immigration policies. But the point of bringing Sessions in would be to explain federal immigration law to a federal judge. She doesn't need Jeff Sessions to do that. All of these motions that they're filing to bring Jeff Sessions in to delay the trial remind me of that great scene from Indiana Jones where the Arab swordsman comes in and Indiana Jones pulls out a gun and boom.
That's a good scene.
It is a great scene, and it's apt for what we're looking at here.
And we should mention Judge Susan Bolton was also the judge on SB 1070, so regarding her knowledge of immigration law.
She knows it.
Pretty good.
Yeah, and she also was the one, she upheld SB 1070's paper pleas provision. This is not a lady who's biased against Joe Arpaio, so all of those issues are gone.
Roy, okay, let's summarize the Arpaio side's case as best you can.
Okay, that's kind of difficult to do. There's a standard for criminal contempt, and I think one of the elements they have to prove, that the government has to prove, is that the order that was issued was clear and definite. And so I think part of what they're getting at with the Jeff Sessions testimony that they're trying to get in is to sort of muck up the idea about what was the order clear and definite. Was it clear enough that he was prohibited to refer anybody to any federal immigration authorities? So I think that's one way he's going to try to do it. Obviously, he's trying to get a jury trial because he thinks a jury trial would be more democratic in his filings, which that's not a reason to have a jury trial. But I think he's doing everything he can to not have a trial before this judge.
But that looks like that's going to happen. Joe Arpaio, if convicted, could get 6 months in jail. Would that ever happen?
Probably not. Given his age, given the fact that he's no longer sheriff and can no longer violate the order in the way that he did before, more likely than not, the judge will fashion other remedies other than putting him into prison. I don't see that happening.
And getting back to all these last-minute moves by Arpaio's defense team, are they trying to set up the appeal?
Of course.
If Arpaio's convicted? Is that what this is all about?
Of course. You always have that in the back of your mind with what you're doing. And perhaps maybe the eventual presidential pardon that might come down if he does get convicted, which wouldn't surprise me at all.
The worst move that Joe Arpaio has made in this, aside from all his public statements as part of his campaign, was to throw his own attorney, Tim Casey, under the bus, basically saying Casey didn't really tell me what I was supposed to be doing. When you throw your attorney under the bus and you're facing criminal charges, You've just waived the attorney-client privilege. First witness on Monday, Tim Casey.
Tim Casey, that will be very interesting. Again, the trial starts Monday at the Sandra Day O'Connor Federal Courthouse downtown. It's going to go into next week, into 4th of July week, scheduled for 2 weeks. Roy Herrera, Tom Ryan, thanks so much for your insight.
Thank you.